Anyways, welcome back to Rasan's ASMR Journey. I'm Rasan, and I'll be doing the journey. And today, I'm going to be delving into 50 facts about a subject that I made my entire personality for quite a while, many years ago actually. And that subject is Gia Marie Karanji. Who is Gia Marie Karanji? Well, we're going to get into that with the facts. But I will say that just a basic rundown is she was a model in the 80s, and she became like one of the first notable models, like supermodels. And there was a movie made about her starring Angelina Jolie. And after I saw that movie, I just wanted to know, like, all the things about Gia. And so I ended up reading a bio of hers that we'll get into the 50 facts that I have here. But let me grab my phone so I can get these facts to you. And of course, because I'll be reading off my phone, apologies, I won't be looking at you most of the time. Also, let me reposition the mic here and get a little closer. Hi, how are you? We're really getting close now. Alright, let's go with these facts. Birth name, Gia Marie Karanji. Date of birth, January 29th, 1960. Place of birth, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. Death, November 18, 1986. Age, 26. She was really young when she died. Cause of death, I was just about to get into this. Wait, Rasan, wait. They're gonna tell you. Cause of death, AIDS-related complications. Early life, Gia was raised in a working-class family in Philadelphia. And sorry about the vehicle noise there. I swear, every time before I start, like every ASMR artist, it's quiet. It's been quiet, and so I decided to jump on here, and of course, now we're gonna bring the noise. Alright. Early life, Gia was raised in a working-class family in Philadelphia. Family. Her father, Joseph Karanji, was an auto mechanic, and her mother, Kathleen, was a housewife. Ethnicity, Gia was of Italian descent. Childhood, she had a difficult relationship with her mother, which led to a strained home life. 10. First break, Gia was discovered at the age of 18 by a photographer named David, who saw her potential in a local store. In a minute, I might have to mute this, guys. Let's see. Number 11. Modeling career. Gia started modeling professionally in the late 1970s. Oh, okay. I thought it was the 80s. Hold on, guys. Alright, maybe we're good. Modeling career, as I just said, Gia started modeling professionally in the late 1970s. First major job, she appeared in Vogue magazine at the age of 18. Top modeling agencies, Gia worked for top agencies such as Elite Model Management and Ford Models. Heroin addiction. Gia struggled with a heroin addiction, which she battled for much of her career. Heroin use impact. Her addiction negatively affected her career and relationships in the modeling industry. Breakthrough moment. Gia became one of the most prominent models of the 1980s, appearing in major fashion magazines. Vogue covers. She graced the cover of Vogue several times during the height of her career. Icon of the 1980s, Gia became one of the most recognizable faces in the fashion world in the early 1980s. First same-sex same-sex relationship. Gia's first notable same-sex relationship was with model and photographer's assistant Susan. Number 20. Personal struggles. Gia had a reputation for being difficult to work with, often due to her drug use. Decline in career. Her addiction and erratic behavior led to a decline in her modeling career by the mid-1980s. Relationship with Linda. Gia had a high-profile relationship with model Linda Evangelista. I did not know that. There we go. Famous photographers. Gia worked with renowned photographers like Stephen Meisel, I'm not sure, and her Brits. Forgive me for not being able to pronounce some names here. AIDS. Gia was diagnosed with AIDS in 1986, likely contracted through her drug use. And of course, this was a time where you did not survive AIDS, like 99.9% of the time. Either, it was complications from AIDS, usually that would result in death. Number 25, impact on fashion. Her death highlighted the devastating effects of AIDS and drug addiction on young people, particularly in the fashion industry. Biographical film. The 1998 film Gia, starring Angelina Jolie, is based on her life. I love that film. It's really good. I highly recommend watching it. Angelina Jolie was amazing in that role. And like I said, her portrayal was what led me to wanting to know more about Gia and being interested in this woman that I thought was highly unique and kind of full of life, and but also full of sadness and turmoil. Like I said, I made it my whole personality for a little while, and due to that, in college, many years ago, in a speech class, I did a speech about Gia and referenced the movie and also the bio book that I read. But the speech was kind of awful because back then I was seriously nervous talking in front of people, so it was not the best. If I were to do it over again today, it'd be a whole lot better. Way better. Anyway, let's go on. Let's see. Number 27. Portrayal of Gia. Angelina Jolie's portrayal of Gia won her a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress. Vogue photo shoot. Some of Gia's most iconic photo shoots were published in Vogue and Cosmopolitan. Fashion icon. Despite her struggles, Gia became a symbol of beauty and freedom in the fashion world. Exotic beauty. She was known for her striking exotic looks and was often described as having an otherworldly presence in front of the camera. Influence. Gia influenced future generations of models, especially in terms of embracing a more natural, less polished look. Unfinished career. Had she not died so young, Gia was on her way to becoming one of the most influential models of the 1980s and 90s. Personal struggles with fame. She found it hard to cope with her rapid rise to fame and often felt isolated. Other relationships. Gia also had several brief relationships with men, but her most public relationship was with Susan. Final years. In her final years, Gia lived in seclusion, dealing with the ravages of her illness. Artistic expression. Gia was known for her raw, uninhibited energy in her photos, which some described as almost vulnerable. Addiction's toll. Her heroin addiction ultimately led to a collapse in her physical and emotional health, affecting her career. Cultural impact. Gia is often remembered as a tragic figure whose life was cut short due to the combination of addiction, illness, and the pressures of fame. Famous for her look. She was a muse for many photographers due to her natural beauty and striking presence. Love for photography. Gia had a passion for photography, which she pursued after her modeling career began to decline. I always thought had she actually lived longer that she would have kind of transferred over to being a photographer herself because she seemed to love it so much. Let's see. Number 41, documentary. There is a documentary called The Model Who Died Too Young that discusses Gia's life and career. Heroin use in fashion. Gia's struggles with heroin use were part of a broader culture of drug use in the fashion industry during the 1980s. 43. Never fully cured. Gia's addiction and health problems were never fully treated, which contributed to her early death. Mental health struggles. She also faced mental health issues, including depression, which made it harder for her to cope with the pressure of the modeling industry. Her legacy. Gia's story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of fame, addiction, and the toll they can take on an individual's life. Fashion's dark side. Her life and death brought attention to the darker, often hidden side of the fashion industry, including drug use and the pressures faced by models. Family and friends. Her family and friends have spoken out about her struggles, remembering her as a bright and talented individual before the drugs took over. Number 48. Fashion trends. Gia helped to popularize the disheveled grunge look that became a trend in the late 80s and early 90s. Historical impact. Gia is often cited as one of the first supermodels to embody the wild child persona that later became common among top models. Enduring memory. Despite her tragic death, Gia's legacy lives on as one of the most celebrated, albeit tragic, icons of the fashion world. And let's see, there are a couple notable books that focus on Gia Marie Carangi's life, detailing, her rise and fall in the fashion industry, as well as her struggles with addiction and her tragic early death. Here are two of the most famous ones. Gia, A Portrait of a Supermodel by Stephen Freed. This is the definitive biography of Gia Carangi, written by journalist Stephen Freed. The book chronicles Gia's life from her early days in Philadelphia to her rise in the fashion world, her struggles with addiction, and her eventual death from AIDS-related complications. Freed had access to Gia's family, friends, and colleagues, making it an incredible, in-depth look at her life. The book is well researched and offers a poignant insight into the pressures of fame and the dark side of the modeling industry. If you can get a copy of this book, it is really good. Like it says here, like I said, I ran and got that book right after I saw the movie Gia, and I was impressed. It was very thorough. It's just a really good biography. Publishing date for that is 1993. The second one, Model, The Ugly Business of Beautiful Women by Michael Gross. While not solely focused on Gia, this book includes significant coverage of her life and career. Michael Gross is known for his detailed look at the fashion industry, and in this book, he discusses the rise of the supermodel culture. Gia's story is interwoven with the broader history of modeling in the 1980s, and her tragic demise is highlighted as part of the industry's dangerous, glamorous facade. Publication date on that one is 1995. So, and the film Gia came out in 1998 and was directed by Michael Cristofano, and It stars Angelina Jolie as Gia. And let's see, the plot goes, this biographical film tells the story of Gia Marie Carangi from her rise to fame in the 1980s as one of the world's first supermodels to her tragic descent into drug addiction and ultimately death from AIDS-related complications. This movie is focused on her personal struggles, her battle with addiction, and her complex relationships with both her colleagues in the fashion industry and her lovers. And we've got some notable aspects here of the movie. Angelina Jolie's portrayal of Gia Carangi is widely regarded as a breakthrough performance that earned her a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in a Miniseries or Motion Picture made for television. The film was made for HBO and is a powerful, heartbreaking portrayal of Gia's life. It also explores the pressures of the fashion industry and how these pressures exacerbated her mental health and addiction problems. The movie is partially noted for showing the human side of the model rather than just focusing on her glamorous image. It addresses her vulnerability and the impact of her struggles with fame and addiction. Gia is often considered one of the most compelling portrayals of a model's tragic life, and it sheds light on the often overlooked aspects of the modeling industry, including its darker undercurrents. So, yes, it is just a phenomenal movie, and Stephen Fried's biographical book is also